Make sure we got it. It looks like we're live. Welcome to Out of the Draft Podcast. This is, of course, your regular panel without two people today. We have no idea where our third guy is, aka Stat Boy, but I'm Dylan. And
Mitchell, always a pleasure to be here.
always, it's been a really long week. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all forever, but
Yeah,
hold on.
it has been long.
There you go. Well, anyways, I guess we can jump right into last week's craziness. We'll start with the Indy Car since we did have a winner in there. And did you pick the winner?
No,
I thought you had Will Power.
I think I picked um. Who did I pick? No,
Joseph
Willpower.
Newgarden. You did Newgarden.
Yes, yeah, New Garden. Yeah.
But anyways, I didn't really watch it. I just knew Will Power won, and Jimmy Johnson finished 19th out of 28 cars. So that's really good for his standards.
That's good. That's good. I mean, originally when I think you mentioned that there was 28, I think I said he'll finish 23rd. So
yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like they were wrecks. He just really were. He was on pace. So
yeah.
That was good to see, especially coming from a NASCAR fan. I feel like it was just like I didn't watch the race, but I knew that he did well, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But, anyways, I guess we can jump right into later on that day. We had the Xfinity Series on a double header. It all started off lap 1. Harrison Burton hit one of the big. So coming out of that little Z or like zigzag section on the left-hand side of your driver's side vehicle, after the hump, there was a huge like thing on the ground that they was trying for the cars not to go to use. They didn't want to use more of the track. They wanted to keep the track. What is that called?
Like narrow a certain.
Well, it's like Formula One uses this term, and like every like NASCAR fans like, oh, we shouldn't use like, I guess the track bounds. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, so they were going over it. Harrison Burton completely destroyed his car lap 1 and a couple others. It was a little wreck fest at the beginning. I didn't really watch the beginning actually. I've just heard what was happening. And then we go on. And who won stage 1? Was it AJ Allmendinger?
Stage 1, yeah, I believe it went to AJ. I didn't watch, but I think.
I don't remember. But and then stage 2 went to Cindric, actually.
Yeah.
And then he...
Yeah, stage 1, actually, it was the side-by-side battle with Ty Gibbs coming to the line.
No, that was last week.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was Watkins.
I
don't know.
I honestly can't remember a thing, actually. I can't remember anything from the Xfinity race because there's so much to talk about in the Cup race. So, like... Right. Anyways, I just know Austin Cindric won. That's it. That's all I remember. I know this is terrible, like, fan, like, moment right here, but I just really didn't watch it because I was at a bachelor party. So, like, I was
busy. Simple as that.
Probably too drunk to even know what was going on.
That was a work.
And then Sunday, I was driving on my way back, so I got to watch the whole thing. It was nice. Starting off, I could just see that it was going to be a really good race. Great passing. I know there wasn't a lot of passing zones, but there was a lot of passing throughout the race. I can see that. Willie B had a really good, strong car. And then we saw Chase Briscoe take the lead early. He led a lot. And then Tyler Reddick ended up winning stage 1 because he stayed out to get the points because he's in this tight battle with his teammate of
Dylan.
Yeah. And so and then he won the stage. Dylan finished third in the stage, so he gained 2 points there. Stage 2, I forgot who won that one.
Logano.
Was it Logano?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I think Logano.
Okay, that sounds right, actually. And then stage 3 is when we had a lot of problems. So throughout all these cautions, we saw that the curb in turn 6 was coming up a little bit. But they would go in and fix it, and so on and so forth. But they didn't fix it. So what happened is about 10 to go or 7 to go, all the stops, we had, who was in the lead? Oh, Hamlin. Hamlin was in the lead. Larson second at this point, and then Willie B third, and then of course Logano, and then the rest of the field. So what happened is the 5 of Larson drove over the thing. Willie B saw the action happen, but he was unable to move quite over enough, and he caught when the curb literally just sent up into the front end of his car. It shot him, and it shot also the 22 car, the 18, literally the rest of the field all piling into a big old crash. So glad Joey was okay, because honestly, that hit.
It was a hard hit.
Yeah,
it was a hard hit.
He said it wasn't, but I don't believe that. Like
I mean, there was a lot of tires there for the tire barrier, and we've seen NASCAR and other motorsports use those for 50 years at least,
Yeah.
So we know they do at least a decent job of absorbing the impact, but it looked hard, that's for sure. But who knows? I mean, shoot, we saw Johnson pile into one of them at Watkins Glen. There was a tire barrier there.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, we literally saw Brad Keselowski do it in, I think, 2018 or something, or 2017.
At Indy?
Yeah, he legit destroyed one of the
tires.
tire
I think that was 19, maybe?
Yeah,
2019?
Yeah. Because he won.
Yeah, coming off turn 2. Oh, man, that was a hard hit, too. And that was with the discount tire car, if I'm not mistaken. So it was kind of ironic. But, anyway. Ended up having that massive wreck caused by the curbing coming up. And that's a tough break for a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers were in position to have a good run.
Yeah, absolutely.
And or, potentially even win, because even without that happening, still could have had a caution,
absolutely.
And then it still would have been chaos, just in a different sense. But so that was a bummer for a lot of guys. But at the same time, it set them up for late race restart. At least one. I don't know if they had more or not. But
yeah, we did. We had. So there was one. Okay. As soon as we got the curb out of there, they end up just removing the curb in general. There was still this huge speed bump, though, that was on the side of the curb, where like
one that we saw of Wallace go around, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which he got sent to the back because of that, but he was just avoiding a wreck, but he still was going full speed.
Right.
So that's why they sent him to the back or whatever. But what happened is some cars hit that inner curb after the curb was taken away, hit that little speed bump, jumped around, had another big wreck right after that one. Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, all these guys were involved in the second big wreck that we had. And then we come to the final restart, and then we have Hamlin in the lead, Chase Briscoe in second, are on the outside of him. And then you have AJ behind Hamlin, and then Kurt Busch behind Briscoe. I was trying to think the black car. I was like, who is it? And then, of course, you had the 2 hitter teammates of Larson and Chase back there as well. So you go into turn 1, literally. AJ kind of peeks his nose because he's supposed to. He's trying to get a good restart, make it 3
Absolutely.
wide. AJ peeks his nose under 11. Didn't really have the room though, but the 11 kind of gives him the room and doesn't even touch the 14, but doesn't give the 14 a racing room.
Right. Yeah. If the 14, that onboard shot of the 14, it really shows the angle.
Yeah.
That if he would have went straight, either way he would have been in the grass. Which ironically, if he probably would have gone through that lane that was there. I mean, there isn't a lane, but it most likely would have shoved Hamlin and then also AJ back out, and the 14 probably wouldn't have had a penalty for that.
No, he definitely wouldn't. So the only reason why, so he cut the course and he took the lead. Of course, Hamlin got around him because he wasn't in full speed. I mean, he wasn't
right. He just came out the grass.
And so, well, anyways, they're going down the straightaway. Down after that little zigzag curve, Hamlin lead, Chase Briscoe second, and then you had AJ, then Blaney behind them. Okay, and then they set up tire smoke from the 11, and then they get through the little six, or I think it's like 8, 9, and 10 little zigzag, whatever. And then right when you get to 10, they literally tell. So as soon as they come out of 9, where Briscoe is on the 11's bumper, this is proven that they did not tell Chase until he touched the 11's bumper. That was actually proven in one of their things. Yeah. But of course, there was still communication while they were on the straightaway. But they found out that was radio too. So that was the spotters communicating, not the driver and spotter. Right. A lot of people still was upset about that, but it is what it is. Chase Briscoe hooks the 11, turns him into the. Yeah, was that the inside or outside wall? What do you consider that? I think that's the outside wall. I would consider that outside.
Yeah, probably the outside technically. I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, he turns him, and then they tell Briscoe, "You have to serve your penalty. You have to do a pass through." Blah blah blah. Well, if I was Briscoe, I would have just kept going. I mean, what are they? They're still gonna foul you, right? Like it doesn't. You still go get a checkered flag. It is what it is.
Right.
He did the right thing.
That's exactly what I think Kyle Petty was saying on whatever that show is with Kyle Petty, Burton, and then Dale Jarrett.
What is that?
Or not Dale Jarrett, Steve Tart. But I don't know what. I don't know.
I've never even seen that. Where was that on? Do you know?
I saw a clip of it on Facebook, but I think it's one of like the
NBC because of the people you just named off.
Yeah, it's like the NBC version of like what's the show that comes on every Wednesday?
NASCAR America.
NASCAR Race Hub. I believe it's like NBC's version of Race Hub.
Oh, NASCAR America. That's what it's called.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So then I guess that. But, I mean, that was the only clip I saw. But that's what Kyle Petty was saying, and also Burton, because Steve Letarte was saying, walking them through the situation, and Burton and Petty were both in agreement that, for one, they're not going to stop racing until they hear that they have a penalty, which technically Briscoe did not, so he's going to race, And then on top of that, Kyle said, they're coming to the white. He was like, there's no point to stop. There's no point. He was like, you might as well finish the race and make them place you somewhere, whether that's failing you, DNFing you, sending you to the rear, whatever that is. Make them put you somewhere if they technically have a penalty on you or whatever. He was like, they're in the lead. Don't stop. Like, it is what it is. If you're going to finish last, you're going to finish last. Is what it is. But
yeah. And then, because he had the penalty, AJ took the lead in the colleague number 16 and wins for colleague in only their 7th start in the Cup Series. That is amazing.
Yep.
Congrats to AJ, because that's awesome, and it's really cool for Matt Colleague and Chris Rice. What a group. I love them guys.
I saw that Bob, I guess, posted a stat or some sort that they're the second fastest team to do that.
They're first.
Since
they're first.
I think he said second.
Because Hendrick is second with 8.
There might be someone different than that has first. I don't know. I could have sworn. Maybe I just read it wrong. But either way, they won hella quick, and it is great for college racing. It shows that they have equipment. Obviously, we know that equipment is some sort of RCR backing Hendrick engine. I don't know, but obviously they got stuff going right. AJ's a heck of a road racer, man. It brings me back to thinking about what if he never had the drug issue stuff back in 2012, you know? Where would he and his career be today, you know? I don't think he'd be a champion, but I think he'd have a whole lot more than 2 cup wins. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I do agree with that. I'm still trying to find this thing. I probably won't ever get to find it anyways. It doesn't matter.
I think I can find it. But yeah, I mean that's crazy cool story for AJ in college.
Yeah.
Obviously a bummer for Hamlin. I mean, I'm not mad about that, but a missed opportunity for Hamlin, and then a bummer for Briscoe. That would have been awesome if he could repeat being the first Xfinity winner at Indy, then being the first Cup winner at Indy for the road courses, that is. That'd be a heck of a stat just to have. Of course, you know, your first win period is just great, but
yeah, that was really cool. And then also, you know, Hamlin really, you can tell that Hamlin was upset, which, I mean he has every right to be upset. There's like, you get spun in the last lap. You're just
right. I mean, you're not going to be happy about
it. But you can tell that he still respected Chase in a way of how he reacted, right? Because you know, Hamlin's been in the same situation where he completely spun the leader, and like he ended up losing the race too. You know, so like,
right.
So he kind of saw what happened, and then Tony Stewart, of course, was super happy with what he did. You know, he was like, congrats,
praising him.
Yeah, he's proud of him for sticking up for himself, and like I think everyone knew he was still in the wrong, no matter what. I mean, obviously he didn't know the penalty, but
right.
I feel like you do realize if you cut a whole corner. Hamlin was right in that situation. If you realize you cut a whole corner, you know you're penalized.
Right. You know you have a penalty coming, and you come out the leader on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're screwed. But it who knows? You know, like it's cool. Either way, it was a great race, great action. Now I would say that we probably won't come back here every year for the road course because the ratings and views were really down. Like, it was bad.
That moment, this is the post from college. That moment when you're the second fastest team to win a NASCAR Cup Series race after being established. It doesn't say who's first, but
probably Richard Petty.
Thanks, Bob, and the Racing Insights for this awesome fact. Where's Stat Boy when you need him?
I know, right? We got to talk and do all the work, and then now we have to do the work too. You know?
Right. Jesus, no, but it's a great race. It's a bummer that I didn't see any of the racing again this week. That kind of thing comes with having a new job. It is what it is, but I guess I should make sure the computer is charging. I believe I will be able to see the truck race this week. They go green at 9, and that's tomorrow. Forgot what day it was for a second. I think I get off at 9, so realistically, I'll probably leave around 8:30, get home at 9, so it'll be perfect timing. But
you'll get to see you'll probably get to see the Cup race next week, Saturday night.
What time does it start?
Saturday night at 7.
Probably like the last quarter or so. But
the most exciting Daytona part anyway, so.
Right. Unless we have rain, which would not surprise me. It's freaking Florida. But
it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say for the race. Did you have? Do you want to rate the race? Let's just do that. Out of 10, from I guess you really didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
I would say I'd say it was a 7.5. I would not give it an 8 though. The only reason why is I just think that the track wasn't prepared for a heavy stock car. I think I'm not just saying the curb. I'm just saying in general. I don't think the track
Right.
was ready for a heavy stock car to be there. Um, but I do think it was better than Sonoma for road course wise, and I also think it was better than the Brickyard 400 the last 4 years. So, um,
How would you compare the Cup race to the Xfinity race last year?
2 notches below it. So like,
Yeah,
not
that's not
not
bad.
not as in like on your toes, because like they didn't technically race side by side like they did to the checkered, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
well, I guess Briscoe took the lead before that,
But yeah.
but I feel like he could have easily messed up and so on and so forth. But I think if if Briscoe didn't have a penalty and he spun out the 11, and then all of a sudden he kind of overdrove turn 10, and then AJ got to his bumper,
Right. It would have been crazy.
it would have been
Right.
awesome, right? Uh, but I just think because of that penalty, it kind of screwed up a good finish. But
Right.
it was definitely a good call for NASCAR to actually call it, though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was clear. A clear day. I mean, he cut an entire corner
He literally took
dramatically.
he literally took a diagonal corner. Like he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll just go through here. Like,
That's impressive.
but um, man, I know he was standing on the gas through that. Like, go.
He's like, he's not gonna give me room. Fuck it. I'm just
Right.
laugh at it.
No, but yeah, I wish I saw it. From what I know of the race and the clips and stuff I've seen, I'd probably give it the same around like what you said, like around 7.5 or so.
Yeah.
It did seem good. I was crazy excited to watch this race.
Yeah.
So it really sucks that I'm not able to, but is what it is.
Well, after the race, so we can go on to some news. Denny Hamlin was locked into the playoffs because we did have a new winner, but they weren't eligible for the playoffs. So that helped his spot since he is now the third person that was in on point, or he's the first person in on points. So we have 2 races left, 2 spots left, and 2 spots that are open that are not winners. So we'll see. It is. We'll stick with Denny Hamlin on news if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin also gained a endorsement sponsor, Shady Rays. He also has endorsements through Domino's, Coca-Cola, Jordan, and Toyota, and that. So that's
And
not.
Domino's.
Yeah, I know that
Like
Domino's.
it was just so out of nowhere. When I remember when I saw the Danny Hamlin Domino's commercial,
Like
I was just like, since when? I was like, well, when has he ever worked with Domino's?
yeah, that was
This
so
is-
weird.
It was out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that one, but that's a good commercial. But that's good for him. I mean, more money.
Yeah,
He's growing his own business, so
hey, he's gonna eventually. He's not gonna have as much endorsement as Dale Jr., but I mean, he's close. He's got some backing, which that's good because he's about to. Since when he retires, he's gonna fully own a team, and like that would be nice, So, we can stick with the Toyota drivers. I also have another update with sponsor. Auto's owners insurance extends for 2022 with Martin Truex Jr. So that's good. That is all the Toyota. Oh, actually, I got another Toyota driver. Bubba Wallace will drive for Hentorini Motorsports this weekend for the Xfinity Series in the 61 because they're going to focus on Austin Hill at Gateway versus their Xfinity program, which makes sense. But that's cool to see. I actually want to see how he performs.
I agree.
Because I don't think the car is great. I don't at all. But I do think that Bubba in an Xfinity car, I feel like he could actually show what that car is capable of doing if he doesn't get in an accident, right?
Right.
So
In theory, he should be able to show.
yeah,
We've seen that car be, I'd say top 15
yeah,
solidly. So he should be able to push it to a top 10.
yeah. I truly think he can. I mean, I just
I
because like
agree.
his Xfinity side and truck side, he was pretty decent. So
Yep.
yeah, well, he was just pushed up to Cup too soon because of like situations. But I think he was really good at Xfinity. He just never got the win because of who he was driving for. Uh, so who knows? I mean,
I agree.
uh,
When he left KBM to go to Roush, I was like, "What are you doing, dude? Like,
yeah, that
you're blowing up your career right now." Because we've seen Roush slowly get better the past 2-3 years, but at that time, that was probably at the lowest point. And
yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Roush." It's like,
yeah.
what?
What? Yeah, I mean, Chris Buescher was okay at the time, but it was because it was Chris Buescher. Like
Right. Realistically, that point in time, there wasn't really a lot of Xfinity competition. Compared to what we've seen the past 2 years, that's why I think we don't see Chris Buescher really doing too much, because now he's racing with all these guys and it's better. But I think, like, just in theory, obviously Busch is an Xfinity champion, and that's nothing to, I guess, talk shit about, because that's great. It's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
But if we saw Buescher in race against Xfinity the past 2 years, I think he would have been nothing. You know what I mean? It would have been top 10.
Yeah.
But off track a little bit. But yeah, Bubba should perform.
Do you have any more news with any Toyota drivers?
Not Toyota drivers. The only thing else I was going to say about the Cup race was
Okay.
AJ winning is probably the best thing that Harvick and Reddick could have seen, because we were on the verge of seeing Hamlin. Hamlin wouldn't have changed something, but Briscoe would have changed it dramatically. That would have shoved Reddick out, put Harvick on the bubble, and not only that, we still have Michigan and Daytona to go through. So AJ winning, it doesn't necessarily save Kevin and Reddick, because it doesn't, but it helps their chances out dramatically. I believe I read that Harvick technically only needs like 44 points, something like that, to lock himself in, assuming 2 new winners don't win. But
So if he okay, actually, I think what it is, because I think he has 64 points on Reddick, and that is a whole race. So So if we don't get a new winner this week, he is locked in, I believe, but I could be wrong. Let me go check.
That technically sounds right, because if we're what really worries it is if you have 2 new winners, because then that would shove them both out, obviously. 2 new winners coming from the outside, that is. But
yeah, he has 67 points on Reddick. So
right.
So as soon if we get a repeat winner this week, Harvick is locked in.
Right.
So that's crazy.
That's good. And that's crazy too, because just imagine if, like I said, Briscoe doesn't cut the grass and just kind of shoves Hamlin back out the way, and all chaos ensues, and who knows what happens. And for one, we could see Briscoe and or someone else in, and then shoving that cut line down, and it'd be crazy.
Because Daytona is going to be Daytona. Like I already feel it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be even crazier than what. Not that last year was crazy, but I feel like we were really kind of on our toes to see who was going to be the final person to make it, or the final 2 or whatever. But this year's going to be next level, man. There's so many people. Obviously we already know everyone outside is must win. We know that, but even the ones that are kind of in, they're basically must win. I mean, excluding, I guess, Harvick's situation, if he gets the points / no one wins or whatever. But I don't know. It's just, you never know.
Because so going to like Daytona, these are the people that we should watch out for the restrictor plate. Okay, that's outside, right? Matty D, Ross Chastain,
no doubt,
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.,
no doubt.
Bubba Wallace, because when he's fast,
he's got the speed. Yeah, he got the speed.
Eric Jones, I'm gonna put him in there because he's won at Daytona before.
Yeah, that's where he got the first win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ryan Newman, and I'll throw. So there's 6, right? I could easily just pull it off without no problem. I'll even throw Cole Custer in that little group. Okay, I can win it without no problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then on top of that, we could even see a surprise winner. Not even necessarily the ones that we know can do it. I mean, I don't know who else is in that group that's above
Suarez,
the top 30.
Briscoe,
but
Austin Dillon.
Yeah, Dillon. Yeah. I mean, it could be anyone. I mean,
dude,
Reddick
is screwed. If he doesn't win, he's screwed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because, he's going to think that they got to win. He's going to go into this week and he should not. Oh, my gosh. He's going to go into this week I got to win races. He does not need to go get points. I'm sorry. He just needs to go win the race. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the way it is. And then, same situation, if, just say, Reddick wins, locks himself in, then it puts Harvick on the bubble.
Right.
If someone else wins, then Harvick is screwed. So
this playoff,
it all just not at all. There's only 2 spots open, and
2 races
there's
to go.
10 guys to fill it. So
and they can only get it by wins though. Nobody can do no points. I don't think Austin can make up 28 points. I don't. I mean, he could, but
I think he could, but Reddick would have to have issues. But
yeah,
I mean, Michigan can be wild, and the Daytona obviously can be wild. So
Michigan
statistically, he could easily, but the reality side of it, I don't know, because I do think Reddick's going to run good at Michigan. But it's not over, man. Who knows?
Absolutely. So I guess we have another. I want to talk about the new rides. I'm going to put new rides for 2022. Okay. The least amount one that people are concerned about is Carson Hocevar will return to Nice and trucks for 2022. That's really cool for him because I think he's a really good driver.
I agree. I think he has a lot of talent.
Yeah, he just comes from a open wheel background, so it's kind of hard for him. It's kind of hard to jump into that, right?
Right. It's about adapting and learning. You can't just jump in unless you're Tony Stewart. You can't.
And then the biggest one this week, Josh Berry will drive the number 8 for JRM in 2022. Full time. His sponsors will be Harrison USA, which is like a clothing line for Carhartt, Under Armour, stuff like that. That type of material stuff. And then of course Tire Pros because they've been behind him since this year as well.
Right.
This is really cool for Josh Berry. All in all,
absolutely. He
deserves this more than anybody. Just how hard he works.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, he's clearly one of them drivers. I won't necessarily say he has raw talent because I don't know. I don't know that much about his career, but he's obviously talented.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's worked for it. It clearly hasn't been handed to him. Obviously, he's worked for Junior Motorsports for a while in some lower series, but still, he's worked for this opportunity by, winning the Modified Championship last year and so on and other races and this and that. And then on top of that, getting his Xfinity chance and then going out and winning and making the most of it and still continuing to make the most out of that Because I think without the junior opportunity, all them other rides that we've seen him in wouldn't have come. You know, he's run
Absolutely
like
not.
2, 3 teams for Xfinity, 2, 3 teams for trucks. I think he ran one cup race, right? I believe. Or
Oh, he's about to run a second. I might as well say it now. He's actually replacing for
you know,
what's his name? I can't even think of his name.
the joy.
Yeah, LaJoy because of COVID protocols.
Right. I think that's what the other one was he was filling in for someone for COVID.
Yeah,
But so I mean, without obviously him working and showing he can drive and proving it to not only junior, but once he's proved it to junior, he proved it to NASCAR, period. And that obviously led to the full-time deal coming up next year, which is absolutely awesome for him. I think he's going to do big things.
I do. I honestly, I think he's a really big contender for the championship, just because
I agree.
just because I mean, the last two races are short tracks, right? So like Martinsville, he's already won
scary.
it. And then Phoenix is his type of that's a bigger short track for him. So like I feel like he could just adapt really easily. So
I agree. All the short tracks, he's gonna be scary fast. Obviously, like we said, we've seen him win Martinsville. I think he's gonna be really good at Phoenix. Be really good at New Hampshire, which I believe he's raced at many times as well, not just earlier this year. But
yeah. And
what
like
the
the
short
his
tracks are
mile and a
there?
halfs are gonna be even better than it was this year. I mean, literally,
Right.
I mean, remember Darlington? He was running up front, like the first
Yeah.
time ever, and he's running up front. I mean, that just
Says a lot because that's not a track you just go run up front at.
no, absolutely not.
Unless you're, I guess, Chase Elliott.
Yeah,
Because he did it, but
yeah, he literally won his first time there. I don't know where that came from, but
yep.
that was his second career win, right after Texas?
Yeah, 2 in a row, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Good
crazy. Man, I miss watching the blue 9. I miss that. Sorry.
Yep.
I hate the white. I hate the white.
I like the white like how it is now, but the past like year, 2 years, I haven't liked it. But I do like the one he's running this year.
I really wish they would go to like. Remember when Truex ran Napa? Remember how that blue stood out? It was so
Right.
nice. I don't think we should have that design, but that blue on there would be
Right.
amazing.
It reminds me a lot of, the blue that he had in the Xfinity car, and then also the blue that Michael Waltrip, that type of blue.
And I think that's probably why they did the 56 like that, because
Right.
MWR.
Right, yeah.
But I got 3 more news from myself, and then if ours don't line up, you can say what I don't have. Okay. First off, I want to say NASCAR has more COVID protocols. No guests are allowed in the haulers, garage, or the grid as well, as of right now. And they did say that drivers and teams are supposed to wear masks starting last week, but I didn't see any of them wear masks at all. Like I don't think any of them wore a single thing. So who cares? I'm just like for me, I think it's funny that like we heard that for I think Watkins Glen they were supposed to wear masks, and like
Something like that.
literally I didn't see a single person in that field wear a mask. But
Right.
They probably don't care about the mask part, more or less of they're just trying to get the fans away from the competitors, which
Right.
I thought that was a little too early to have people in the garage, not media, but fans. There's a difference.
Right.
Media should be in the garage because I mean that helps the sport
They're,
get shown,
right. They're doing their job,
Um,
And of course, to be in there, they still have to follow certain protocols and so on.
absolutely.
But I agree. Having fans, I think it was cool and all for the 5, 6, 7, 10 weeks we had them or whatever.
Yeah, it
Might
was
not quite have been that much.
It was
but,
a long time. I don't know. It was for a little
Right.
bit there.
I feel like it could have maybe held off a little bit. Obviously, though, they were ready to get back in the swing, and I do like the feel that it did give back to NASCAR. Once you saw the people just on the grid, it just gives a different feel, even from TV. Let alone being there. But
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
because when we were at Nashville, it felt like I was at like a 2000s race.
right?
Like the fans were or the stands were completely filled. Uh, you had the infield completely filled, and then you had all the drivers literally walking and not even riding. Like, you know how they used to ride the red trucks around or whatever. They all walked. Like it was so cool. I don't know, but
Yeah, they did the trucks at Atlanta when my parents went, but I mean they were still, I mean, freaking on them. You know, I mean the pictures that they posted on
yeah,
Facebook were, I mean, I think that excluding getting autographs from drivers because that's even different, but excluding that, I mean they were 10 feet away from every single driver. You know, let alone all the other fans.
yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, I think they were a little too close, a little too quick.
But at least none of the drivers tested positive. That's good. That is really good. But
Well, that's not true.
well,
We got LaJoy, and then we had
no,
one
that he
two
didn't
weeks
test
ago.
positive. He didn't test. So
Oh,
yeah, the problem.
well,
There's a problem with his situation.
oh,
He was hanging
and,
around people that didn't get it,
okay,
but weren't. It wasn't up to NASCAR's protocols, so like he kind of just. Long story short, it
right. Someone did get it though, like 2 weeks ago or so.
was yeah, Chase Purdy. It was the Xfinity
Yeah,
driver. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking of Cup. Guys.
Right.
Uh, and then a spotter change for the Penske team. We had the 2 and the 22 flip spotters. So TJ Maters is with Brad Keselowski now, and then I forgot Brad's spotter, but he's with Joey.
Wow.
But that is because TJ Majors is going to go with Brad Keselowski to Roush in 2022.
Really?
Yeah, that was what was said today on Twitter. So that's cool.
I'm shocked about that. I didn't see that coming at all because I know, for one, Logano really likes TJ, and that's also a big reason why I think we've seen Logano's Super Speedway game, be great. Um, that's crazy. I didn't see that coming. I mean, good for him,
Well, did
but
TJ work with Brad
Junior,
and Xfinity at JRM?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Because I
Maybe
really think he did.
he might have part
Because
time or something like
because
that. Or
Dale didn't use TJ until late in his career. I wonder where TJ
I
came
think
from.
it was like 2013,
Yeah,
14 when he started.
that would make sense. Anyways,
Which from 14 on anyway, he was freaking great.
yeah.
Even 13, he was good. But
I don't know. Anyways, but that is really cool to see that Brad's getting he's literally getting what he wants. Everything he's grabbing,
yeah,
he's getting what he wants.
he's getting what he wants. I'm sure Logano is not happy about that. Because like I said, I know he loved TJ Majors.
Yeah.
I think that was like his first request to try and get him when Junior had retired initially, and he did. So I don't know. That's interesting.
It's interesting to see. And then a last thing that happened this week for news on my end, the next gen car at Bristol with a tire test. Christopher Bell was in the vehicle. I don't care what anyone says about this vehicle. They were like, the sound sucks. All this sucks. Like, it looks slow. Get over yourself. Okay? Listen. It's a tire test, so they're not supposed to go fast. They're not supposed to go like full throttle. I don't care what anyone says. They're literally to see if the tire can hold the corner. That's literally it.
Right.
First, the sounds pretty cool. I don't care what I think it sounds dope.
I don't mind it. I mean, it sounds different, but it doesn't at the same time.
Like it literally sounds like a race car. It does.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think it's cool. Apparently the test went pretty good too, so that's good.
I haven't heard anything about it. I've seen tons of videos and stuff, and I think he made like 25 laps, something like that.
Yeah, I think they said they saw wear in the tire, which is good. That's what they're looking for, wear,
Right.
because they know that if they know how hard tires suck, but they were looking for wear and seeing where it could be on short tracks, and I think they found it. So
Right.
that's
That's
all I had.
good. The only thing news related I have, you pretty much covered everything, was really just Kurt Busch saying that he had a couple offers on the table
Ooh, yes,
for moving from Ganassi, obviously, at the end of the season. And he said one of those includes 2311. Didn't have any information about what the offer is, this and that. But so there is some talks, and it makes me wonder who he said specifically he had two offers, and one was 2311. He didn't say who the other was. I feel like it was probably something not as good as 2311. That's my guess, because I mean he's already been everywhere else. I don't see him going back to SHR. He's not going back to Penske. He's not going back to Roush. Well, actually, I mean I could see him go back to Roush. That would actually be interesting. Bring back Kurt, Keselowski, and then Buescher.
That'd be weird.
That'd be interesting. It would be weird, but that'd be interesting. But
Well, also we didn't talk about. I forgot to put this on another thing. You talked about 2311. There's a rumor that 2311 is going to take over for Front Row Motorsports and take over their charters for the Cup Series.
Yep.
So that and Eric.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I think we're probably going to see Kurt go to 2311, which will be speculated before this was even a rumor. A lot of people are already kind of assuming. So, I mean, good for him, I guess. And I really hope he at least gets one win in the Toyota, because that would be just cool. He'd have wins in Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Dodge, freaking everything.
Yeah.
And I think he'd probably be the only one. He has a win in Dodge, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for Penske, so.
The only one that doesn't.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The only one that has a Dodge win would be Brad, but he doesn't have a Toyota win.
Right.
And he won't.
No. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be cool to see. That's also interesting, because I wonder if he'd bring Monster with him. I mean, I know we've seen Monster transfer with him from Ford to Chevy now, but do they go from Chevy back to Toyota where they originally kind of started?
No, I think he loses Monster, actually.
It wouldn't surprise me, and then they go.
But I think
sponsor Haley full time.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do think that'll happen, just so they can put more money into her.
Yep.
That would be their best deal. That's all I got. So, you want to go into picks, or what you got?
That's all I got for news.
All right, perfect. Let's go into picks. I'm cool with it.
Give me my notes.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
All right, we're gonna start off with Truck Series picks. With the Toyota 200 at Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway. Gosh, what a name.
Gateway.
I'll start with Thomas's suck pick here. I don't have his stuff up. There it is. His bad run, he says Stuart Friesen is going to have a bad run this week.
Wouldn't surprise me. Shoot.
I have. I'll just go ahead and go. So I'll do his and then do mine right back to back. I have Sheldon Creed having a bad run this week.
I have a Crafton. It's not really a track for him, I don't think.
Nah, probably not. For good runs for the Truck Series, Thomas has offered to go with Matt Crafton. I actually agree. I chose Matt Crafton needs a good run this week because he sucks here. That was literally my reason. So,
My good run pick for this week is Todd Gilliland. He always seems to surprise me, especially at the odd tracks for some reason. So I think he's gonna have a good run. He'll get that truck rolling around the bottom.
the trucks for Thomas, he has John Hunter as the winner. For myself, this guy has finished second, and led 87 laps earlier this year. He got in the accident. Todd Gillen is going to come back and win.
I would love that. I don't like Todd. But I think it's going to be John Hunter. He's just, you can't go wrong right now. Him. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Todd either. But John Hunter is just freaking fast, man. I think this is a track that's going to fall into his wheelhouse. It's odd, like I said. I don't know. KBM equipment, man. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with John Hunter and KBM. You can say the Xfinity stuff.
I don't have it up.
All right, I'll do it.
Well, I can look it up.
Okay.
That's all right. I'm on the app. Well, I will be on the app. So, the Xfinity race at Michigan. Wait a second. There we go. It is August 22nd, 3 p.m. It is the Firekeepers Casino 400. Wait, I'm on Cup. Hold on.
Look at this rookie.
This is why I had to have it written down. It was better that way. All right, my fault. The Xfinity race is August 21st at 3:30 p.m. The New Holland 250 at Michigan International Speedway. Austin Cindric is your pole sitter. I'll read Thomas's picks, I guess, this time.
Cool. All right, I like that.
Thomas's bad run pick for Xfinity, he went with Ryan Sieg for this race. Not sure why. I kind of agree at the same time, though. Mine, I went with Brandon Brown. I went with the other underdog for not going to have a good run this week.
High speed track.
I think you got to have that horsepower.
Gotta have that horsepower. It's okay. I actually went with hopefully this car has horsepower. Myatt Snyder is actually going to have a bad run this week.
I can see that. Thomas's good run pick. He went from one underdog to the other. He went with Jeremy Clements to have a good run this weekend, which I could see him having a good run. I think of the three underdogs, he probably has the most experience. Yeah. So I could see him going there. My good run for Xfinity is AJ Allmendinger. I think he's going to use that good momentum that he just had coming off that Cup win and have a real good solid run coming to Michigan, which I don't think statistically has been one of his best tracks. So I think he's going to go in there with a lot of momentum.
For myself, I have Harrison Burton, especially from bouncing back. I just think this is his type of racetrack. He's a flat footer, so I feel like this would be good for him.
I agree. Thomas's win pick, he went with Ty Gibbs. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I don't think we've seen him on a track like this yet.
No, we haven't.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles
that.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. We'll see. My win pick, like you said, this guy's good at flat footing, so gonna go with Harrison Burton. He got his first win, I believe, at Auto Club, right? If I'm not mistaken. He was Auto Club last season.
I don't remember.
I think that was his first one.
I can't tell you.
But think so. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I think
Go
it
with
was
Harrison
Homestead.
Burton.
I think it was Homestead.
No.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was Auto Club where he got his first win last season. I believe he passed Noah for the win. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's funny that you say that because I actually have Noah Gregson winning the first race of the season, or the first winning his first race of the season. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about Noah this week. I felt it last week where I was like, I don't know. I just feel like Michigan's he's gonna get it done, but hopefully.
I mean, he could. He's an aggressive driver, and it's time to step up. They're coming down to the end of their regular season. I don't know how many. I think they got 4 to go. 4
I
races.
can check.
Sure this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 counting this one, but after this one, it'd be 4 to go.
Yeah, so it's getting time where you got to perform, and then not necessarily saying no, it hasn't, but he hasn't. So yeah.
All right, let's go to the Cup picks. This will be the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan International Speedway. It'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBCSN. Of course, if you're listening on the radio, MRN as well. Kyle Larson has the pole. Chase Elliott to his outside. And that's the front row. So I thought there was going to be like a cool driver in the top. There wasn't. But we can go ahead and start off with a bad run for Thomas. He actually has Kevin Harvick having a bad run at Michigan, even though he's won 3 of the last 5 races there. So that's interesting.
He's actually won 4 of the last 5.
Really?
3 straight. Yeah, 3 straight.
Okay. That's where I missed. I thought it was 3 straight, but
well, it is 3 straight.
No. I'm saying like I thought it was 3 out of the 5, not 3 straight.
Okay, right. Yeah, it's 4 out of 5, and the one that he didn't win that they're including was the one that Boyer won. Ironically,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So Storehouse has had they've had the magic here for the past 2-3 years.
For my bad run, I have Ryan Blaney. I think he does so well here. It's just he always gets caught up in an accident that
usually Brad causes.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with he sucks with teammates. I think Ryan Blaney should really go on his own and just like race. I feel like he would win stuff.
Go like RPM style.
Yeah. I don't know.
RPM. That's weird saying that.
Yeah, that was weird. It was weird hearing it.
I mean, it's right, but
it was just weird. But yeah, Ryan Blaney is my suck pick this week.
Or actually, it ain't M, is it? It's
Richard Petty Motor.
I think it's Incorporated.
No, it used to be Enterprises, but it
or Enterprises.
Now it's Motorsports.
Oh, okay. Anyway, my bad run pick for Michigan is going to be Denny Hamlin. I think they're going to have a lot of relief going in, as they should. And they're just going to completely suck. They're not going to do nothing. They're just going to ride around, get to the playoffs.
Gotcha. For good run, we have Tyler Reddick for Thomas. He believes that Reddick needs a good run and also will have a good run. So that is good for him in the playoff situation. I actually went with another Ford driver. I think this will really be because Michigan Ford is usually their style. So I think Matty D is going to have a good run this week.
I see that. Seems like a good track for him, too. It's obviously a big draft track, so he could really use the aero side of it to improve his car handling a little bit if it's not quite there. But that's not bad. My good run pick, I'm going to go with Chase Elliott this week. A little different for me.
That is. I was surprised. I was like, whoa.
I don't know. He's never really seemed all super great at Michigan. Not bad necessarily.
That's so funny you say that because I think I read a stat today that he's literally this is his track where he has his most top tens. That's funny.
Really?
Yeah, that's well. You just think okay. Ever since he switched over to the 9, he
Hmm.
hasn't ran up front like he was in the 24. Because remember, he like led a bunch of races in
Yeah,
the
he led a
24,
bunch. Yeah,
and
it
then
was like almost every other race he was leading.
and then like at Michigan, and then Larson ended up winning those races every time he would lead. But
Yep.
anyways,
But yeah, I think he's gonna have a good run. Maybe get a top 5.
yeah, maybe get a top 5. That's a big possibility.
Yeah.
The win pick for Thomas is I just said his name. Kyle Larson is going to win for according to Thomas. I actually definitely agree with him because he's my win pick. I have Kyle Larson winning this weekend because he's won it 3 times and Ganassi equipment. I think he can do it definitely with Hendrick Motorsports equipment.
I agree. It's a track that's gonna fall right into his hands, especially
Yeah.
having better equipment. He's going to be tough there, no doubt. It's just a matter of who else will be, or are we gonna see like another Nashville type situation and it's just dominating.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that we'll see that the rest of the year actually. A dominating race just because I feel like the competition did catch up to HMS a little bit.
I agree. They definitely closed the gap. They're obviously still fast. They're constantly still all right around the top 5,
I
if not
mean,
in there.
they've still won the 8 of the last 10 races, so
Exactly.
that's ridiculous.
But they have closed the gap a little bit. I could see it though. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, with the 9 and the 5 starting on the front row, I feel like I was like, this race is gonna be boring. I was like, oh god, it's gonna be.
Who knows? I mean, we could see them all wreck each other or something.
It is the 550 package, so I don't think anybody's gonna leave. It's just I don't know if you can pass. That's more my issue. Oh,
I think someone will be able to leave, but I think it's going to be over the course of like 15 laps or so.
also, they're not putting the PJ1 down this weekend. They're putting the resin from Nashville.
That's great. That's great.
Oh, I forgot to put that in my news, but when we talked about if they could pass, I was like, oh, actually, they're gonna have resin on there. So,
what groove? Do you know?
I believe the whole track actually, because the whole track it is supposed to grip the track. It's supposed to let the rubber lay down, so it can have grip. So, I mean, maybe we can see 3 lanes again. I doubt it, but
Could. I mean, that'd be
we were seeing 2
intense.
We were seeing 2.5 with the PJ1, so I think we could spread that out a little bit. We could if we had practice, but
Yeah, no doubt. But also the Xfinity race will probably help that as long as there's no rain.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and then your win pick.
my win pick. I feel like it's an obvious one. Gonna go with Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, he's won 4 of the last 5. The last 3 straight. I just think it's tough. I think I don't necessarily think he will win personally, but I obviously want him to win, and I do think this is probably going to be his best opportunity of the season to win. Not only that, but I think this is also the best indicator of where they are. I mean, we've seen a couple indicators throughout the season of where they are, comparing, Harvick to what he does at the tracks that he won at last year. But I feel like this is even a bigger step from not just Harvick, but SHR as well, because like I said, we've seen SHR run here at least the past 5 races. That is up front. We've seen Harvick win 4, Boyer win 1. And then on top of that, I think it was the year before Kurt left. I think they were running like 1, 2, 3, 4, like for like stage 1 and 2, and then finished like 1, 2, 3, I believe. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good opportunity to see really where Kevin stands with his equipment, what he can make happen, and then also SHR. Um, I think if Harvick can go back to dominating Michigan, that is, I think it's going to be scary for the field because I think it's going to light a fire under them. And like we could go right into like a Tony Stewart type of situation, not necessarily, but I think we're going to see him click off at least a couple more wins if they can get the win here. If not, then I think their season's toast.
Wow.
Hopefully Kevin wins.
I completely agree. Which, of course, I've said my prediction actually beginning of the season before it started. I told you that I just don't. I think Harvick will go winless this year, and it was a bold prediction, but so far it's
bold as hell. Well, I remember when you said it, I was like, dude, you're crazy. Like, did you not watch last season?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, man. I just have a feeling that it's just not going to work out. And I was like...
And it hasn't, that's for sure.
No, yeah. But hopefully they can definitely turn it around and they get something rolling for their team and especially, for their fans as well. Because, other than that, that's all I had. I know it was really short. We just hit an hour, but
wow.
I know it felt great.
Real short.
That felt great. Do you have anything to say other than that?
No, not really. Looking forward to this week racing. I know I'm going to miss Xfinity Cup again, sadly. When I'm at work, I'm able to kind of pop in NASCAR.com or the app here and there, see running orders and stuff. But that's really about all the updates I can get while I'm at my new job. Can't just sit down and watch the race like I used to be able to. But yeah.
Can you at least
it's gonna be a good week? No, it's way too serious. I haven't tried, but
well, like in your pocket, can you have it playing? Like listen a little bit, or
I guess I could. But
especially if you're frying burgers, I feel like you could do that.
Well, on the burger station specifically, like you're in front. It's almost like Waffle House style, not really at all, but like how you're in front of the customers. So probably not right there. I think I probably could if I was in the back, but I don't know. I just haven't pushed my limits yet. Still not even a month in, so I don't want to get fired for watching the race. But it's what it is.
Someone else push the limits first.
Right.
You should go talk to people. Be like, hey, so have you ever watched a sporting event while you're working? They'll be like, oh yeah, like NFL. No, like NASCAR. You said sporting event. That's what they'll say.
Right. Yeah. Sport. Yeah. Like NASCAR's not sport. Here we go.
Anyways, I thought that was.
Could you imagine if they were like, oh, well, if you're watching an actual sport, yeah, I'd let you. But NASCAR's not sport, so you can't. I'd be like, damn, it's like that, bro. Like,
I'd be like, all right, watch it with me. I'll show you the difference. Okay.
Right.
Dude, that's what people. Okay. So that's how I've gotten people to watch NASCAR. Because I've gotten 10 people from Chick-fil-A to watch NASCAR actually on a regular basis.
Right.
And they've actually become fans, got T-shirts and picked their driver, which that's really cool. I think that's so cool to see.
Yeah.
But, the problem that they have is they've never actually seen a whole race and understood it, right? So they've always seen the cars just turn. But if they were actually listening, if they're listening and understanding what was going on, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is intense," right?
Right.
Even the boring races, they come on Monday and they're like, "Dude, did you see what was happening?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was boring as hell." But I'm not gonna say that to them because they're excited. Like,
right.
But like,
you want to hype them up, and
I was like, dude,
keep that fire burning, and especially being new fans.
Yeah, seeing like a boring race and they're excited about it shows me that like they're gonna love next year. Like
Right.
they're gonna be like, because I think this next gen car is gonna be the way Denny described it. Did you listen to his video at all?
Denny?
Yeah, Denny described talking about the next gen car,
No.
dude. When because Denny is he's pretty intelligent when it comes to racing, right?
Who do you think the most intelligent is, like regarding racing
Brad,
right now? That is.
Brad.
I disagree. I think it's Kyle.
Okay, so intelligent as in driving, or are you talking about like in general, like all
Like literally knowing how the car works and why this does that or whatever, you know.
I would say Newman if it talks about that.
Well, yeah, I get like the engineering side of it, yeah,
But I okay, Brad and Kyle are up there for me. Like when it comes to
yeah,
knowledge about like what would make the car work and what would make the car race good. I'd put
right.
them up at the top of the list.
Yeah, it almost kind of makes you wonder why Newman isn't necessarily better with his communication, I guess.
I think he is.
Or,
I just
maybe he is. Maybe he might be too in depth, you know.
Yeah, they're just like, what the hell?
Right.
What
like,
do you mean drive shaft? What?
Well, there's one of those in there.
He's like, yeah, just tighten this belt. We have belts in there?
I don't see the buckle.
And he does race for Roush, so I met Roush is over there like, what
right.
did you say, Nerman? Like, just...
And Jack is getting old.
Dude, he's old. He's
old.
Dude's on his last 2 legs.
Cylinders.
I was gonna be like cat lives. He's already
because it's the cat in the hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was like, people probably wouldn't get that joke. But I'm so glad.
That's funny. Yeah, a lot of people probably wouldn't get that.
No.
What's your long term?
I know. I've been watching NASCAR for so long. I miss the digger. You remember that?
Yeah, man, the digger cam, that was the best. That was the best, bro. The digger cam.
The digger was funny too. Like, that was good quality stuff.
Yep, pop up, they'd come flying by, you get scared and run back down in the hole.
Dude, old Fox was amazing. Sorry, that just.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember the wrecks where they, come sliding right over the digger cam. Because, of course, it's just a hole in the ground and it's a camera reflected by mirrors. That's how it works. But, so, they'd slide over the hole and it's just scary looking.
Yeah. And, like,
right. You're like, shit. What the fuck?
Like, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah, I miss the digger cam. That was cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, we got a lot of cool shots now, drones and all kinds of stuff like that, where we can get really up close different angles. I think the digger cam still provided cool angles that we don't see anymore. But,
yeah, I think they got rid of under the car views because of engineers. Was like, no.
Right. No,
that's probably what it is. Like, no. I don't want you to see what's under there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Because have you noticed, like, we don't even see, like, so whenever they show, like, the tire, when it bounces up and down, when they do that one camera, it's so close to the tire now, it doesn't even show the inside of the car.
Right, you can't see nothing. You're literally just looking at rubber. Like, that's it.
What the hell? Oh,
yeah, they don't show
much, man. They make racing terrible.
Fucking Newman, bro.
I'm just kidding. But I can't wait. Seriously, so what he was saying about the next gen car was like, man, he's gonna be hard to drive. Like, he said, I love the challenge of a race car, and it's gonna be hard to drive. He said, yes, they're gonna be specs, and everyone's gonna have a lot of the same stuff, but like, I think it's just gonna promote the best drivers out of it at the end of the day.
Right.
Maybe not the best teams, but maybe the best drivers. And so, which, that's good. That's good all around. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the amount of different winners I think we'll see die off a little bit. I mean, obviously, this year's the most we've seen in what 7, 9 years, something like
yeah,
that. But so obviously, I mean, statistically, it should die off anyway because this is kind of like an oddball year almost.
yeah,
But I think it's going to die even more because of the fact that it's going to be harder to drive
yeah,
technically. So we're going to see the cream rise. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And there's only so much cream. So
No, I really think that you know how I was talking about that group of drivers at the end of every road course that we've been seeing the group of drivers. Larson, Chase, and then you had. So I would say the top 10. Okay, so the Larson, Chase, Willie B, and then you had all 4 Joe Gibbs drivers. Then you have Chase Briscoe, and then a few Penske here and there of Joey and Blaney. That's
Right.
going to be your next 10 right there of like
yeah,
domination. Which of course Truex is probably going to retire in 2 years. So
same with Harvick.
yeah, Harvick. Honestly, I give Harvick next year. I think next year's his last year. I do because his contract technically with his sponsor ends next year. But his contract with
I didn't
Bush,
know that.
yeah,
That's interesting because technically his SHR one goes through 2023.
2023, yeah.
That's weird. And then, ironically, Stewart said a week or 2 ago, I don't know, something like
About
that. I
Haley?
read the article. Yeah, the Haley stuff and blah, blah, blah. All eyes are going to be on her in 2024, which still once reiterated that she's kind of coming here in 2024 following Kevin's leaving.
Which
I don't
I
know.
think that'd be good for her. I mean,
I agree. I think that's plenty
people
of time
shouldn't
to
look
grow.
at her though as in like the next.
Jimmy Johnson, because
Right.
that's not what it is. Right.
She'll never be up to Jimmy Johnson's caliber. I mean, nobody will. I'm sorry, but like,
well, yeah, absolutely not.
but
I think she, in her career, cup wise, I think she could get like 10 wins max.
yeah,
I think
Clint
that's
Boyer
what-
career. Simple
Right.
as that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A Clint Boyer career, like nothing special. Win here
Right.
and there, dominate maybe 1 or 2 races out of your whole career, and just get a bunch of poles. Like she could lay a fast lap, like it's no problem. It's just
Right.
the problem is consistency, right? Like but she didn't have to be.
Right, and I mean, consistency also comes with time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we see drivers age and grow, they just simply get better. It's as simple as that.
I mean,
Um,
driver's prime is 10 years after they've run the Cup Series. So
Right. That's just simple experience, and I think the first step for new drivers is, especially going from series to series, is you got to learn how to finish the race. Because obviously they're longer and longer as you go up. So you got to learn how to finish. Once you can learn how to finish, then you can learn how to
finish well.
progress, finish well. Maybe come to a win, and so on and so on. It'll be interesting. I think we could see like 10 wins out of her though, something
So,
decent.
yeah, I would just love for. She definitely will be the first female winner. I do believe that.
I agree.
But
There's no way Natalie will. No offense to her, but she's just.
well,
There's no talent there.
No. Well, she even said racing is not her career. She said that.
So why is she doing it? And that's what doesn't make sense. Because
I have a tickle in my throat that I cannot get out. Sorry.
you good. I've been yawning all day, but
Well, like, so I cleaned that fan fan right there, and like I think I got dust in my mouth ever since then. But anyways,
right. Yeah, Natalie's. She ain't ever gonna win. She might not ever be at a top 10 in her career, realistically, in any of the series.
no, she didn't. Never mind. She finished 11th. I was thinking
That's the best. That's the best it gets.
Yeah, I was thinking of this Daytona race that she ran last year.
But it's gonna be interesting seeing her. Maybe we don't know, but in Xfinity next season, I want to see how she can run because I feel like it'll be better than trucks. We see a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
people.
I think the trucks are too easy to drive for her.
I agree, and I think that's why we see a lot of drivers kind of break out in the Xfinity series and all
Yeah.
that because the trucks are just. I feel like they're too easy to drive, so they're all just all over each other. And then on top of that, the races are short, so you don't have time to do anything. You got to just freaking go. But I don't know. Kind of makes me wonder though with Gilliland, C, not CGR, DGR. Yeah, DGR.
Yeah.
I think of like what the term was. Do they have an Xfinity team?
Are you talking about front row? That's what Gillen runs in.
I know. I'm talking about Haley,
No.
David Gilliland Racing.
No.
Does Front Row have a Xfinity team though? You know?
No, I think they've made a couple starts though. They just never made a full time thing.
Yeah.
Like their first full time lower series was their truck team.
Okay.
But I know they've done a little thing for David Hayes a couple times.
I think if Stuart Haas chooses to keep Riley another year, freaking hope they don't. But I feel like they might because he's got money. I don't know. Who knows? But I think if they do, I think that's also kind of why SHR has been working with BJ McLeod. I think they're going to stick Haley there if they keep Riley in SHR. Obviously, they're probably going to fully fund that car. But
yeah.
I don't know. Not much has really happened on the Xfinity side of silly season. I mean, obviously, we just had the Josh Berry news, but other than that, there's not much.
Yeah, like Noah's not going anywhere. Well, Noah has no idea what he's doing next year.
Right. I assume he's going to stay, but
actually no, because Sam Mayer's supposed to be. Sam Mayer's supposed to be in the 9 car next year, so.
That's interesting. So where do you see Noah going? RCR? I could see that.
I see him going to Colleague.
I didn't think about that though. To replace Justin Haley.
Yeah, to replace Haley, and then take the second charter team part time with AJ for Cup.
Right.
And then eventually take that ride when he's ready. I
can see that. I hope that's not the way it goes. I don't like Noah personally. He's stupid.
I mean, yeah. I don't really know where he would go, because I don't think Justin is leaving. I don't think he's going to retire. So, because he's staying with JRM probably till he retires. So,
absolutely. What about Annette though? Do you think he could retire, especially following all these medical bone issues and stuff that he's got going on?
If they keep, I mean, Junior may say, "Hey, you got a lot of health issues. You should probably back out like I did, and just, talk business as a business, so he can move on with his team." I don't know. I mean, maybe do that.
And then put Sam Mayer in the 1, or put him in the 9, and also put Noah in the 1. But
I think they want to keep the 9 as Hendrick's car, so it's whatever Hendrick wants the 9 to be.
See, I don't think he's going to even care right now because he's set. I mean, he's set at least for 2 years,
Yeah, because that's why Junior needs to make a Cup team.
I agree.
Because Like it would be so smart. Like I know he doesn't have the charters, but like at least make it right. At least start it off with one car. Don't care about charters. Just go race. Go race like the Crown Jewels, the Daytona 500, because you know you're gonna be fast at the restrictor plates. And that's just simple as that.
Because
And go race like the Coke 600.
yeah, I mean, I would assume he'd have Hendrick power.
For sure.
You know,
But Hendrick can't also be the 9-car owner either.
right. Which I'm sure Junior would be fine with. I don't think he'd do it.
Yeah.
Nor Hendrick really, but
Junior. Anyways, but that I don't know. I think Junior will make a Cup team of something. I don't. It may not be full time, but I think he will start some Cup races here soon. It's just
I agree. I think it's coming. I think he wants to.
yeah,
You know,
it's just so hard to buy
a lot
a
of money.
charter. Yeah, just because Rick Ware is so greedy. Which I mean I get it. He has every right to be, but
Right. I mean, it's a business. You know, although with that being said, though, it's business. You know, we obviously know that, but it also shows where Rick Ware's head is at. He don't care about the racing. He's there to make money, which is fine. I mean, it's a business, you know, but I feel like it just shows that he's not there to race. You know, it's not about the racing for him. He sees money in the sport, and that's what he's after.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all we had. We were still live stream, by the way.
I know. I figured.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation. Don't forget, we had a lot of viewers. We had a lot of playbacks today, and our watch time was a little shorter, which I think is because we had a shorter podcast.
Right.
But thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to share if you liked what we saw or if you liked what we said.
If you like what my eyes are seeing, be sure to share it.
Dude, share it. No, but seriously, if you like what you heard or saw or whatever, please share it to your friends. We would be greatly to have people in our chat, things like that. Also, even afterwards, while our podcast is over, you can still comment on that as well. Thank you all for tuning in. And you got anything to say?
No, just have a good night. Thanks for being here.
Peace.